Are you ever bothered by sounds? Like really irritated? Or maybe you feel like you might have gotten over how bad a sound was for you, but now you just can't really seem to focus and get things done as well? Well, today we're going to talk about those noises around you and how they can be more than just irritating. They can actually harm your brain and your health. We'll dive into what might be kind of surprising research on the effect of noise on your brain and your body, and maybe even more importantly, what you can do about it. So let's do it. So let's start with the sound that's outside of our homes. There's a German researcher, Dr. Thomas Munzel and his colleagues, and he looked at the impact of sounds outside of our homes. Noise that comes from roads, rails, and airplanes. Their research shows us that noise from those sources can increase heart disease, heart failure, and stroke. For every extra 10 decibels of noise, the risk of cardiovascular disease increases by over 3%. But there's even more, because noise from those traffic sources doubles our risk for anxiety and depression. Now that's all well and good if you live by something that's really noisy or you work in the airline industry or something like that. But what about in our daily environments, our homes or schools or work? The drone of my rickety old fridge starts driving me crazy. Literally the other day I was at home, I was trying to do work before a repair person came, and I'm sitting at the kitchen table and it was so loud. I had to go over and shake it for a bit just to get it to stop because I couldn't focus on anything. It was terrible. So according to the National Institute for Occupational Safety and Health, the noise that is in our environments can really impact us. It can disrupt our concentration, like it did for me. It can increase our stress levels. So if you already have stress-related conditions, noise can make them worse. These are things like high blood pressure or coronary disease or peptic ulcers or chronic migraines. Lots of people have those problems. And again, it wasn't just physical health that was impacted, it also impacts depression and anxiety, our mental health. Now here's another question. Do you just get used to it? Pretty soon I don't even hear it anymore. It's fine. That's not what the research finds. Chronic exposure to those noises doesn't lead to what they call habituation. Although you might not be hearing it, the stressful effects continue and can get worse. So how does noise cause all these problems other than just feeling like we're irritated? Well, a bunch of ways. It can increase oxidative stress. It can increase inflammation in our bodies. They say it can alter our genes, and it can disrupt our circadian rhythm. Stress from ongoing noise can increase our body's cortisol. Now, cortisol is a hormone that helps us deal appropriately with stress. And that's great when the stress is like a lion chasing us and we have to get away. But when the stress is in the background of our lives, every single day, droning on or coming and going, that is bad news. Too much cortisol impairs functioning in the prefrontal cortex. This is an area that's important for planning and reasoning and impulse control. There's some research that also says that this noise-induced stress makes it harder for that prefrontal part of our brain to use dopamine. So we're not as efficient, we're not as able to do the things we want to do, include, learn, and remember things. So what does this mean for our actual life? Well, in the short term, it makes it harder for us to focus and concentrate, or even fully enjoy just the stuff we do in daily life. It can mess up our sleep. And we all know most of us desperately need better sleep. And it can even impact our social interactions. But in the long term, it gets even worse. It can lead to major physical and mental health problems, and it can even contribute to an early death. So what can we do? So first, in daily life, let's try to minimize the unwanted noise that can come into our environments. So one of the suggestions they give, I think, is kind of lovely but kind of funny at the same time. They say, well, install more soundproof windows. Now, I like that idea, but windows are expensive, and it's not like I can just run out and change my windows really quickly. I mean, there's some cloudy windows in our home, and those are going to be expensive just to get a few of them changed out. So yes, if you can change your windows and make them more soundproof, well, that would be lovely. But for those of us who are like, okay, that's kind of a big thing, You can look into curtains or drapes that are heavier and that block the sound better. We can also look into using other types of sound that are more pleasing for us or block out the outside noise. I'm thinking things like little water fountains with that little trickle of water that sounds so nice. Or my kiddos have one of those sound machines, and there's different settings on the sound machine, so you can find something that you actually like. Their favorite is cricket sounds. Now, personally, you can make choices for yourself to try to shield yourself from extra noise and things that aren't good or pleasant for you. So when you're out, let's think about how can we go to places or use or take routes that just aren't as noisy, that don't have those loud, horrible things that are impacting us. At home, you might think about creating quiet zones. This can be especially important if you have children or other household members who like to do loud things or be loud in general. And whenever necessary, you can use earplugs or noise-canceling headphones. Using earplugs has improved my sleep. I just can't even tell you how much. After having kids, my whole mommy brain was on high alert. I mean, it's always been on alert. I would wake up for the pets and stuff pretty easily. But with children, every little noise, I'm awake and okay, what do I need to do and how do I need to fix something? It's really hard. So using earplugs to just drown out the extra noise and let myself have peace and quiet at night has made a real difference in my sleep. There are a few different types of earplugs and headphones that myself and my colleagues have tried, and I'm happy to put the links below so you can check them out too and see if you like them. And finally, if this topic really fires you up and you feel really passionate about it, you can do something at a broader level. You can advocate for better noise regulations in your community, and you can join things that are part of the urban planning in your area so that you can have better spaces and try to minimize noise for everybody in general. Noise pollution is a real thing. But overall, it can help just to feel like you're not completely helpless and at the whim of our environments. Small changes can make a really big difference. So let us know in the comments below if you've tried something, if it's worked for you, what might be especially challenging so our community can try to give you ideas. And if you like these ideas and you want more, then come on board with the This Beautiful Brain newsletter, where every Sunday I send out ideas on how to have a healthier brain, how to have a better quality of life, and how to have a lot more fun. So I'll see you there. Bye.